Hi boys and girls, welcome to another literacy activity video. For today's literacy activity, we are going to be doing a read aloud. Today's read aloud is of the story A Day in the Life of a Police Officer. Now, we have been talking a lot about police officers in our new theme, Community Helpers. We had a couple message of the days. I think one was we are going to give a ticket. Police officers give tickets. They drive in their special police cars and they do all sorts of things that help the community. They keep people being safe and they keep laws and they protect us. So they definitely are community helpers. So we're going to read all about a day in the life of a police officer. And while we read the story, I want you guys to be thinking about some of the things that you know that a police officer does. What do you think a police officer does? I'm sure all of you have seen police officers. We have one in school that comes around and visits us, Officer Perez. So what do you think police officers do? And see if what you think police officers do is something I read in the story. All right, so a day in the life of a police officer. Okay. What do police officers wear during their shifts? What do they wear? Police officers wear uniforms with badges. Uniforms help people notice officers who are working. Officer David wears a bulletproof vest under his shirt. Whoa. He carries handcuffs, a gun, and a baton on his belt. His belt also holds a two-way radio to contact the station. So here is a picture of a police officer. He's got all that stuff on his belt. What happens at a briefing? Officers meet the sergeant for a briefing at the start of each shift. The sergeant explains any crimes that happened during the last shift. The sergeant also tells the officers their duties. Officer David and Officer Melissa will work together on patrol. So it looks like they're at a meeting, talking about what they're going to do for the day. What do police officers drive? What do police officers drive? Police officers use many kinds of vehicles to patrol. They sometimes use bikes or horses. David drives a patrol car. The car has lights, a siren, a radio, a camera, and a computer. Officer David drives around watching for crime. He looks for anyone who needs help. So there's the car, and there's the inside of the car. You can see there's a computer in there and all sorts of things. And there's the sirens. How do police officers know where help is needed? Dispatchers answer 911 phone calls and tell police officers where to go. While David and Melissa are eating lunch, the dispatcher's voice comes over the radio. It says 10:52. This means there is a car crash with injuries. David and Melissa rush to the scene a few blocks away. So we got a call on his walkie-talkie that he has to go. How do police officers help in emergencies? Police officers are trained to work quickly in an emergency. David directs traffic safely around the crash. Melissa uses the radio to call an ambulance and a tow truck. She gives first aid to the driver. So they're controlling the traffic. I'm sure you guys have seen a police officer control the traffic. What do police officers do when they are not stopping crime? Police officers help their communities. Community helpers. They want people to be safe and healthy. Today, David and Melissa tell kids about the dangers of drugs. Flash, a police dog, comes along to show how he can sniff. So a lot of times, police officers have special canines, special dogs with them that can help them smell some things, because dogs have a really strong sense of smell and they can run down and chase the bad people. How do police officers know if someone is speeding? Police officers use radar guns to check vehicle speeds. An alarm on the radar gun sounds. A driver did not slow down for the school zone. David flashes the patrol car lights. The driver stops. David gives the driver a ticket. He explains that school zones keep kids safe. Oh, just like our message of the day. He's giving somebody a ticket. What happens at the end of a shift? Police officers return to the station at the end of their shifts. Officer David returns a patrol car and keys. He fills out reports at his desk. David greets his officers who are coming on duty. It is time for him to go home. Amazing but true. The first radios for police cars were made in 1928. The police station could send radio messages to police cars. Officers could only listen. Now police use two-way radios so officers can talk to the station as well. So here is a photo diagram of all the police car things. So we have lights. We have doors. Back doors only open from the outside, so you can't open the door if you're in the car. This is their gloves. They have gloves. They have a gun on them. They have keys on their belt. Wow, they have a lot of stuff on their belt. They have flashlights in case they get caught in the dark maybe. A radio that they use to signal people. A police badge. And a cap, a hat, a police cap. So those are all the things that you might see with a police officer and a police officer car. Pretty cool. Alrighty, and that is the end. So as we were reading this story, I hope that some of the things that you were thinking about that you saw in the story. So maybe you were thinking about our message of the day and you were thinking, oh, I know a police officer gives tickets, and you were right, and that would happen in the book. Maybe you were thinking, I know a police officer drives a police car, and you're right, they do drive a police car. Maybe you were thinking, you know, a police officer wears a police hat, and they do. Or you were thinking, you know that they stop traffic. So police officers do a lot of things in the community to help people and keep people safe. Looks like there's a police officer in school, and I just made a connection that we have a police officer in our school, just like in the picture in the story. Just like these two police officers are visiting children, we have a police officer in our school. We don't have a dog in our school. That'd be kind of cool, right? If Officer Perez had a dog with him. So police officers definitely do a lot of things to keep the community safe. So I hope you enjoyed that story, boys and girls, of a day in the life of a police officer. All right? Okay, I will see you next time for our video. Bye, friends. Have a great day.